Good morning to all. I am Sumati. In this video, we are going to see about unguided transmission media in computer networks. Unguided transmission media is also known as wireless transmission media or unbounded transmission media, as there is no physical medium required between the sender and receiver for transmission. The signals are transmitted through as electromagnetic signals through air. Features of unguided transmission media are the signals is broadcasted through air, and so it is very less secure and it can be used for very larger distances, and three types of signals can be transmitted through unguided transmission media. They are radio waves, microwaves and infrared waves. Radio waves, we can see in detail about radio waves. Radio waves are easy to generate and can penetrate through buildings. The sending and the receiving antennas need not be aligned. The frequency range for the radio waves is 3 kHz to 1 GHz. Amplitude modulation, that is AM, and frequency modulation, that is FM. Radios and cordless phones use this radio waves for transmission. There are three types of radio waves. They are short wave, that is amplitude modulation AM radio, and very high frequency VHF, that is FM radio or television, then ultra high frequency, that is television. These are the components of the radio waves, that is transmitter and the receiver are the components available in the radio waves. The transmitter is responsible for encoding the signals and the receiver is responsible for decoding the signals. Microwaves, next comes the microwaves. It is a line of slight transmission, that is the sending and the receiving antennas need to be properly aligned with each other. That is, the antennas must be very straight so that the receiver can receive the signals correctly. The distance covered by the signal is directly proportional to the height of the antenna, and the frequency range for this waves is 1 GHz to 300 GHz. Microwaves are majorly used for mobile phone communication and television distribution. This is how the transmitter and the receiver receives. Here we can see that the antennas are aligned with each other so that the waves are transmitted correctly to the receiver. Advantages and disadvantages of microwaves. Advantages are cheaper than using cables, freedom from land acquisition, ease of communication in different terrains, communication over oceans are also possible. Disadvantages include insecure communication, out of phase signals, susceptible to weather condition, bandwidth is limited, high cost of design, implementation and maintenance. Next comes infrared waves, that is the third waves is infrared waves. Infrared waves are used for very short distance communications. They cannot penetrate through obstacles. This prevents interference between systems. Frequency range for this infrared waves are 300 GHz to 400 THz. It is used in TV remotes, wireless mouse, keyboards, printers, etc. The infrared waves are used in television, infrared radiations, remotes, etc. Difference between radio waves, microwaves and infrared waves. Based on direction, radio waves are omnidirectional in nature, but microwaves are unidirectional in nature. Infrared waves are unidirectional in nature. Penetration. Radio waves at low frequency they can penetrate through solid objects and walls, but at high frequency they bounce off the obstacles. Microwaves at low frequency they can penetrate to solid objects and walls. At high frequency they cannot penetrate. Infrared waves they cannot penetrate to any solid objects and walls. Frequency range for radio waves is 3 kHz to 1 GHz, and the frequency range for microwaves is 1 GHz to 300 GHz, and the frequency range for infrared waves is 300 GHz to 400 GHz. Security for radio waves is it offers poor security, microwaves offers medium security, and infrared waves offers high security. Authentication is high in case of radio waves, and authentication is variable in case of microwave, and authentication is very low in case of infrared waves. Government license. Some frequency in radio waves require government license to use this. Some frequencies in microwave require license to use this. There is no need of government license to use these waves. Usage cost. Setup and usage cost is moderate in case of radio waves. Setup and usage cost is high in case of microwaves. Usage cost is very less. Communication. These are used for long distance communication. Microwaves are also used for long distance communication. Infrared waves are not used in long distance communications. Causes of transmission impairment. Transmission impairment refers to the loss or distortion of signal during data transmission, leading to errors or reduced quality in communication. Common causes include signal distortion, attenuation, and noise. All of this affects the clarity and reliability of the transmitted data. Transmission impairment. Three types of transmission impairment: attenuation, distortion, and noise. Attenuation means loss of energy. The signal strength decreases with increasing distances, which causes loss of energy in overcoming resistance of the medium. This is also known as attenuated signals. To overcome this, amplifiers are used to amplify the attenuated signal, which gives the original signal back and compensate of this loss. Distortion means change in the form or shape of the signal. This is generally seen in composite signal made up of different frequencies. Each frequency component has its own propagation speed traveling through a medium, and that's why delay in arriving at the final destination. Every components arrive at different time, which leads to distortion. Therefore, they have different phases at receiver end from what they had at the sender's end. Noise. The random or unwanted signal that mixes up with the original signal is called noise. There are several types of noise, such as induced noise. Induced noise is that noise which has been mixed, or induced noise is that which is mixed up with the original noise. Crosstalk noise, thermal noise, and impulse noise, which may corrupt the signal. Factors considered for designing the transmission medium. First factor is bandwidth. Assuming all other conditions remain constant, the greater a medium's bandwidth, the faster the signal's data transmission rate. Next factor is transmission impairment. Transmission impairment occurs when the received signal differs from the transmitted signal quality, which will be impacted as a result of transmission impairment. Next factor is interference. Interference is defined as a process of disturbing a signal as it travels over a communication medium with the addition of an undesired signal. This is application of the transmission media in computer networks. Unshielded twisted pair wires are mostly used in local area networks and telephones. Shielded twisted pair wires are used in industrial networks environment with high interference. Optical fibers are used in long distance communication, internet backbones. Coaxial cables are used in cable TV, broadband internet, CCTV, etc. Then strip line. printed circuit boards, that is PCBs, and microwave circuits. Microstrip lines are used in antennas, satellite communication, RF circuits. Radio waves are mostly used in wireless communication, AM and FM radio, and mobile phones. Infrared waves are used in remote control, short range communication. Microwaves are used in satellite communication, radar, long distance link. Thank you.